This is for the rebellion.
NERDSoul.
Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people, today? Oh yeah, we coming with another wonderful episode of Thumbnails. That's right, we're gonna get into it, pushing everything to the side for, of course, Star Wars Rebels. And we ain't gonna waste no time. We get into the heart of the matter because this is about, of course, Saw Gerrera and Mon Mothma. It seems that in the rebellion, and we've seen this a little bit before, especially in Rogue One, that everybody in the rebellion doesn't feel the same way about how to fight. And Mon Mothma still thinks that possibly there's a diplomatic solution, even though we've been proven that there isn't. I don't even know why she's trying, but you know, I mean, she left the Senate herself. They pretty much took the power away from the Senate, so why even try? But that's what she believes in. And Saw Gerrera is a little bit too rough and rugged to the point where he's like cutting everybody besides his boy Two Tubes. Like in the mission, he's like, yo, look, I'll leave you. I'll leave you. It doesn't matter. And I think the best approach is as a midway point between the both of them. And what I mean by that is that diplomatic solutions is not gonna work. It's over. It's a galactic empire. The Emperor is not trying to hear no votes or no tallies or no polls. But at the same time, while we're fighting, we have to remember that we're fighting for people, because if we're not fighting for people, then are we fighting just for the sake of fighting? So do I think that we need to forget the diplomatic solution? That's over, that's dead. The Empire's proven that's dead. But I don't think that we should be so hardcore that we're willing to leave anyone that we find, especially survivors. In this case, the survivors were like, you know, these special, you know, scientists and stuff that was like, yo, we gonna help out the rebellion. And why they help out the rebellion? Why? Because they were saved by the rebellion and they saw the dirty, dark side, of course, of the Galactic Empire. So we can't forget who we're fighting for. And I think that's something that we get a nice chunk of in this episode. Since it's a two-parter, Mon Mothma, you see her kind of trying to be soft with it, trying to coddle the rebels and everything. And even when they come back and they've lost soldiers, she's kind of like, oh, well, it's all right. And Saw Gerrera is like, yo, man, y'all wanna do some real damage to the Galactic Empire? Come with me. And we find this, or we see this play out at the first, you know, communication relay, where they go to kind of like peek in or listen in on what they're saying. And even Hera is like, yo, man, look, like, shouldn't we just blow this up? But, you know, Mon Mothma thinks it's better if we listen in. And maybe not, but I just, in general, it's like we might as well just blow this thing to smithereens. But before we move on, the people at KURO brand is gonna help us pay some bills. All right, little fresh, little dope beat, some fresh clothing. Guys, the link is below and you can check yourself out a shirt and get a NERDSoul shirt too. But anyway, let's talk about the lovely references that I was feeling in this. We got Phoenix, you know, Phoenix Squad or Phoenix Group again. We were, you know, on Yavin 4. I was like, oh man, this is sweet. And we got those nice little pieces where we're starting to see the relationships come back. We also see the group all back together again, which is another thing that I love. Another thing that really stood out to me is the fact that everybody feels like it's time now. I think the rebellion is getting to a point where they feel like, okay, we've been doing the small stuff enough. It's time. It's time to really do something. And honestly, this is what I think they did with taking out that new Kyber crystal. That means they've taken out two that the Galactic Empire has tried to get. And Kyber crystals ain't cheap and they ain't easy to find either. So, and I mean, I guess if you got the galactic resources, maybe it's easier to find, but still, one that huge is hard to find. And the fact that they've gotten rid of 2 of them now, you know, the Galactic Empire is not too pleased with the rebels. And I like the fact that they're starting to push back more. It's because, of course, we're getting closer to Rogue One. So I like the fact that we're getting to the point on the rebellion side where it's like, look, you know what? This small skirmish stuff is cool, but we want to do something real. And that's where, of course, Saw Gerrera comes in when he saves, of course, Sabine and Ezra, the 2 youngest, the most impressionable ones, to be able to go and infiltrate this cargo bay of this ship that's supposed to be, you know, transporting some type of weapon. Now, of course, Saw Gerrera does know that there is definitely a super weapon somewhere, something extremely dangerous somewhere, but he just doesn't know what. And of course, we know it's the Death Star. But I like how they play it straight the whole way through, and they give him an opportunity to be a little crazy, but also be right. And I guess the last thing I'll end off on is the fact that this was a solid episode for the rebellion side. And leaving off with this, I guess I'll just say that I'm not a fan of how Mon Mothma handles this, but I'm not particularly a fan of how Saw handles it. I like the fact that Saw is definitely go get him, but I can't be down with shooting your own people, dude. So like I said, it's probably somewhere, if there were a scale to Mon Mothma and Saw Gerrera, I'd probably say it's in the middle, leaning towards Saw, but I can't leave my own people, man. I can't do that. Unless it's like a very, very rare situation. But he's shot, you know, Ezra and Sabine on his own. So it's like, we'll see how that plays out. Well, we know how it plays out in Rogue One, but we'll see how it plays out during the rest of this season, because they'll probably be a lot more wary of him and how he gets down. So guys, holla at me, I'm gonna holla at you. Down in them comments, let me know what you thought about, of course, Star Wars Rebels. Man, I'm feeling it. There's a couple of animation stuff that kind of gets on my nerves every now and then, but for the most part, I'm feeling the story. It was great to see the group back together, Mon Mothma side and Saw Gerrera side. So guys, of course, down in the comments, let's talk about it. And before I bounce, I gotta tell you to hit up ThatNERDSoul.com. That's right, check me out right there. All my videos from the oldest, newest, latest, greatest, and all that. Then hit up shop.ThatNERDSoul.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt, player, and don't forget to get one for them playettes. Then come back here, like, comment, subscribe, and share that Nerd Soul. That's right, there's no better way that I can show people that you like what you are watching. So, LA, what up? VA, what up? RVA, you got my heart, and please be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And remember, man, kyber crystals, very volatile. Peace.